All right, we've got to talk about January 6er Jake Lang. We've made several videos about Jake Lang on this channel. I have made videos on my channel about Jake Lang. You may have heard some about Jake Lang recently in the news because he's, first of all, not only was he there on January 6th and pardoned by Donald Trump, but he's a vehement racist, an anti-Semite, an awful individual. And somebody who has gathered protests in places like Minnesota, basically calling for like the white race to fight back or something. Okay, this guy is awful. He's terrible. And there's a reason that pulled up right now. I have "We Are Jeffrey Epstein," this photo that was taken just the other day of Jake Lang, somebody behind him, "We are Jeffrey Epstein." That's Jake Lang right there. That's going to be relevant for this video. And we've talked before about what seems like a correlation between hardline MAGA people who talk the most about protecting the children, who push the most hate against the LGBTQ plus community. People like this, we keep seeing them over and over talking to underage individuals. And that's where we are again. We talked about RJ May in South Carolina, who won Moms for Liberty Representative of the Year. His whole shtick was, I'm here to protect the kids. The LGBTQ plus community is coming after the kids. He's going to prison for life because he was trading explicit photos under the screen name Joe Biden 69. Matt Gaetz, anybody? Matt Gaetz was going to head the DOJ. We know that he was sleeping with 17-year-old girls. Donald Trump is covering up the Epstein files. It goes on and on and on. So before I show you what's going on with Jake Lang, let's remind you of a few things. This went viral just a few weeks ago, and we talked about it. He went to Minnesota, and he actually got charged for knocking down this Prosecute ICE statue. Take a look at this video.
Baby, America first, America only. We'll see you here February 7th, Saturday, 12 noon, outside the Minnesota State Capitol.
So again, Jake Lang being charged for that because vandalism. And, you see Jake Lang here. Look at it. Look how cute he is. He's playing dress up in his little camo costume that he got from Walmart or wherever he got it from. This was Jake Lang the other day. If you heard about some of the events in New York City recently, he hosted what was called a, quote, anti-Muslim protest in New York City. This is just an awful individual. And he pulled up in this U-Haul doing this.
Kamani! Kamani's a goat fucker! Kamani likes to fuck goats! The Muslims need to get out of NYC! They're a bunch of goat raping pedophiles! Get Kamani! Get Somali out! Get these Muslims out of our city! We will not allow these people to continue to rape and pillage our city! USA! 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 USA!
Just so disgusting, so gross. And he's suggesting that individuals who don't look like me are doing horrible things, are pillaging our cities, are pedophiles, which again, projecting, as you will see in a moment. Last video here, I'm gonna bleep or out some of these words because it can't show them on YouTube, but he's using the N-word with a hard R here in this video. If you need an idea of who Donald Trump pardons, by the way, take a listen.
Go back, AIPAC, go back. That's the AIPAC building right there. White Christian men are not going to sit around while you turn our children into a bunch of lovers.
Right. This is the Republican Party. This is who Donald Trump pardons. Awful, horrible, terrible people and small little men, just small little people. Jake Lang running around in his little costumes like a small little guy. Well, let's figure out what's going on with Jake Lang, because today has been a whirlwind for this guy, going viral with text messages. Take it away.
Lang, 1776, has been in the news for doing tons of shit. Yesterday, he was driving around my city for some reason humping a goat in the back of a van. I wish I was kidding, that's exactly what this weird fuck was doing. Jake's not interested in goats. As it turns out, he's interested in young underage women. See, a friend of mine, Arlen aka the Zerg, does underage things. It turns out Jake Lang was stupid enough to give him his number and creepy enough to interact with him thinking that he was a 15-year-old girl. They started working on this back in November when they followed Jake Lang's account. Jake Lang reached out and said, "You coming to my next protest in Texas?" Jake immediately goes for the phone number. Now I want to make it apparent that these profiles are very clearly belonging to high school students. I obviously can't show you the profile because that would blow the entire operation, but they always have some sort of high school and some throwback to being in high school. But it gets worse. Jake insisted to move it to text message conversation. He said, "I have too many DMs. Text only, sweetie." Decoy gives phone number in this message. Jake gets chatty. "How old are you, by the way?" the decoy asks. He says, "I turned 30, honey. Why are you up so late, young lady?" "How old are you, baby? Unless you are under 18, I don't care." The decoy says, "I'm 15," and sends a selfie. And he sends possibly the creepiest message a 30-year-old grown fucking man could send to a 15-year-old. He says, "When do you turn 16?" The decoy then says, "In 6 months I turn 16. I won't get you in trouble if that's what you're worried about. I can keep a secret." Jake hearts this message. And he takes it a step further. "What state do you live in? I can't see you till you're 16. Jake, you're 30. Is this crazy right-wing influencer thing going so poorly for you that you have to try fucking children?
I mean, if I hate so much that I'm not surprised by this. It's so, if there is anybody left supporting Jake Lang, first of all, like, and it's so crazy to even for me to utter these words, to say if there's anyone left supporting Jake Lang, because there is people who support Jake Lang in the first place, which is just so mind-numbingly sad and horrible. But if this like right-wing Nazi side of the GOP is still supporting Jake Lang after this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. And again, while I was recording this video, I started looking on Twitter. He has responded to this. And the response confirms that the text messages are real and is the most like bizarre non-denial I've ever seen in my entire life. So let's analyze this really quickly. Text between Alex Rosen and myself this morning. If you're not aware, Alex Rosen he makes a lot of videos basically setting up these decoys of underage individuals and then catching individuals trying to meet with those fake underage people. And so that's probably why Jake Lang is involved with Alex Rosen here, because Alex Rosen would be somebody, you know, kind of in the scene who would immediately want to understand what was going on. Nice setup, nice fake setup by Groypers, but I won't even allow this person to attend my protest until they were 16. Nothing else was discussed except going to a protest. Obvious phishing scam that my team caught right away and deterred. Groypers being the name for a lot of Nick Fuentes fans. So him claiming that this is a scam. So let's look at these texts. Alex Rosen, were those messages real? I'm just asking. Nick Fuentes went on a 10-minute vicious rant about me on his show yesterday. So the Groyper army has been attacking me with dozens of phishing, hoax, and scams. My lawyers are gathering everything now and prepared to strike back hard. Bet. Well, were those texts you being for real or effing around? Because this is not an answer to the original question. My team who does my DMs from out of the country suspected I was being phished. I confirmed it by asking their age and telling them the legal boundaries, never spoke to them again after that. That doesn't look like the text we saw. What do you mean by phished? They were talking about coming to my protest and then switched, trying to rope the conversation into something illegal, and we pulled the plug. Quote, I told them I needed women for my burqa and bikini march. This guy's such a loser. That was planned for February in Florida, and they started search, but this person was phishing us to set me up for something illegal, which I pulled the plug on. What made us refer to this girl as honey and baby? Quote, never once was there a pet name used after the fisher identified their age. No talks we had other than them coming to the protest. That is the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. Agreed. Can you send me full chats on your end? I'd like to see what was said after her age. The chat was cleared, but I know for a fact the last message that was sent was the one that said, quote, I can't see you. Like, that is the most ridiculous. This is the profile. I think my team targeted it because of the bikini photo. Yeah, that def isn't a kid, lol. Okay, well, I'm not sure that this was the profile picture. And also it was clear that this individual was in high school. Regardless, even if I were to take this at face value, like, this is not a defense at all. Nice setup, nice fake setup. How old are you, baby? This right here. I'm 15. When do you turn 16? And then I want to be clear. Last one here. Quote, what state do you live in? I can't see you till you're 16. There is not a single world where there is an explanation for that text. There is no context in which that text makes sense. None. Unbelievable. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments down below. I'm fucking just so gross, so disgusting. I appreciate you guys watching this video, which, by the way, I didn't say in the beginning, my name is Chris Mowrey. I do a daily episode here on the Adam Mockler channel, so make sure you check out my YouTube channel down below. Hit subscribe. It means a lot. I'm almost at 200,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you're subscribed here on the Adam Mockler channel. Hit like down below, and I will see you in the next video.